So the PlayStation 5 is running Battlefield 6 better than the Xbox systems, but is anybody really surprised at this point? What's up you guys, my name is Shade, back with some more gaming news. If you want news on gaming, leaks, and stuff like that, hit the subscribe button, follow me depending what platform y'all watching me on. So as y'all know, Battlefield 6, the open beta, been popping off like crazy. They even went ahead and broke Call of Duty all-time record of concurrent players on Steam, reaching over 500,000 players, which is crazy. So Battlefield is in the driver's seat when it comes to the most popular shooter right now at the moment. And with the game being very popular, of course it's gonna have comparisons with the game, especially with the systems that it's running on. So Twisted Voxel posted an article talking about Battlefield 6 open beta graphics comparison reveals PS5 advantage over Xbox Series X, 120 frames per second supported on all but the Series S, which I already know that gonna go ahead and stir up some people that's a fan of the Xbox, you know, about the performance and stuff like that. But like I said, nobody should be surprised at this point, like when it comes to the systems, because it had different games that came out so far that showed you how it's performing better on the PlayStation systems compared to the Xbox systems. So in the article, it goes on to say on PS5, PS5 Pro, and Xbox Series X, players can choose between balance and performance modes. Balance mode targets 60 frames per second with higher quality visuals, including improved shadows, lighting, terrain detail, and resolution. Performance mode sacrifice some of these enhancements in an effort to reach 120 frames per second, though in practice, the frame rate tends to average closer to 90 frames per second. The Xbox Series X, meanwhile, runs without selectable modes, aiming for 60 frames per second while cutting back on effects such as screen space reflections, draw distance, and certain lighting details. And I have a picture on the screen for you to go ahead and look at it. It's the one that they posted in the article on twistedvoxel.com. And I gotta say, when the Xbox Series X, well, the Xbox Series S came out, I was not surprised when I saw the hardware specs of how this thing was gonna run. It was not going to run that good, because really the Xbox Series X was really made to be more of a Game Pass system, not really to run these other games, because even some games they had to take some features out just to run on the Xbox Series S, so it wasn't really worth it to do that in my opinion. But when it comes to the performance on the PlayStation systems compared to Xbox anyway, like I said, it shouldn't be no surprise at this point, because even though that it was on paper that the Xbox Series X was supposed to be more powerful, that PS5 Pro is more powerful, even though it came out later, but the PS5 itself outperforming the Xbox Series X, even though it's supposed to be more powerful, it don't surprise me at this point, because it had many games to where the PS5 itself just outperformed the Xbox Series X. Why? I don't know, but it's just still crazy that be happening. But I do want to get your thoughts about this. How y'all enjoying Battlefield 6, the open beta? What do you think about the graphic comparison on all the systems? I would just say this: the Xbox Series S is just taking that L. It's just doing it because it was not really made to really run games like this, especially with some games you gotta take certain modes out just to run it on the Xbox Series S. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share the video, and also subscribe or follow me depending on what platform y'all watching me on for more gaming news, leaks, and news just in general on gaming. But thank you guys for watching. My name is Shade, and I am out.